Yo, what it do, gang? Welcome back to the channel. So listen, bro, first things first, you guys see it, you want it. If you guys saw my my previous to last video, I made a reaction to a live duel, and we saw a deck like this go up against Salamence Great, and it looked like it was really fun. I said that I wanted to build it. Some of you guys actually wanted me to build it, so here it is. It's a 48 card deck. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I play like this, and you know why I have certain cards and not other cards and stuff like that at the end of the video when I go over the deck list. With that being said, I want to thank Adi Putra, Kaiser, and Gintoki MH. Thank you guys for subscribing. Those are the last 3 people that I can see that subscribe to the channel. Again, if you subscribe to the channel and I can see it, I'm gonna personally thank you, because you don't have to subscribe, so the fact that you do it helps me a lot, and I appreciate it, bro. I genuinely do. So with that being said, if you are subscribed and I didn't see you and I can't see you and stuff, just comment in the section below. I'll shout you out. Also, I have about 3 or 4 replays for you guys and stuff like that, and then like I said, at the end of the video I'll go over the whole deck list and why we play it the way we play it. So let's get into those. Alright, gang. So like I said, actually a lot of the matches that I got to play against were against Labrynth decks as well. So this one right here, I picked this one because it was a good duel. It was a good back and forth duel, and I got to show off most of the cards in the deck. So with that being said, we activate our Ariana, and we get Ash Blossom, bro. Also, look at the effect of the Ash Blossom. This is really cool. I like the little petals and stuff. That's fire. So then we set down our Welcome Labrynth. We activate our Aruha, so that way we pop a card on the field so we can special summon it. So now they activate their Lord of Heavenly Prison, and they set down 3, and they end their turn. So here we activate our Welcome Labrynth. They activate their own Welcome Labrynth, and I'm like, Ash Blossom that, get that out of here. We don't need that. So then we special summon our Labrynth Labrynth, and then we they activate the effect of the Lord of Heavenly Prison, special summon onto the field, and they get to set down a Port of Extravagance, so that way they could use it next turn. I activate our Labrynth Labrynth, bringing our Welcome Labrynth back on from the graveyard, and then I pop my Labrynth Labrynth. That way I can bring out our Abominable Unchained Soul, so that we could discard a card and pop that, get that out of here. You're not drawing 2 cards next turn, not today. So then they activate the effect of Trap Trick, bringing out a Palozoic Domiscuous onto the field. That way they could banish our Unchained Abominable. Alright, whatever, bro. So then we purposely crash into it with the Aruha. That way we could bring out our Unchained Soul of Disaster, and then we could use the Lord of Heavenly Prison, so that way we can link summon into our Unchained Soul of Rage. We set that down, and that's it, bro. We don't have anything else. They have 1 card on the field. They activate the Compulsory Evacuation, and then they can chain that Palozoic Domiscuous back onto the field as a normal monster. Sending our Link monster back onto the extra deck, activating the Welcome Labrynth because they send the monster back to the extra deck. So then they slap us for 1,200 damage. Now we have 1 card on the field. They activate the Unchained Twins. I activate the Unchained Twins Harkea. Then I activate the Welcome Labrynth. That way we could bring our Labrynth Labrynth back onto the field, activating its effect, so we could bring the Welcome Labrynth back onto the field as well. We slap the Palozoic Domiscuous, and then we slap it for 1,500 damage. So here they activate the Welcome Labrynth once again, bringing their own lovely Labrynth onto the field, activating its effect so they could bring the Compulsory Evacuation back onto the field. I activate my own Welcome Labrynth once again. So that way we bring the Ariana back onto the field, and we're going to use the Ariana to search for our field spell, our Labrynth. They go into the battle phase, destroying our Ariana. Then they set down 1 back row and pass. So here we get we activate our Labrynth Labrynth, and this is exactly what I was trying to do. I actually didn't need the card. I was trying to bait out any disruptions or negates. So that's actually what happened. They had the effect Veiler. So then I activate the Unchained Twin Raikea, so that way I could pop it. So even though they negated the effect with the effect Baylor, I was thinking that maybe if I popped it, the effect would still go off, right? Because this card is not on the field anymore. So then they imprimed us because this game hates me. So we get imprint, but still we don't care because we haven't normal summon yet, and I still have follow-up. That effect is actually really cool, the effect of the Veiler. So we get our Labrynth onto the field, bring out our Unchained Sarama. That way we could bring a card from the graveyard so we could pop it. So then he uses the compulsory evacuation, and I'm like, thank you. Because now that he sends a card back onto my hand, that means I can pop a card on the field. Because watch this. We bring this card onto here, we pop it, and then I get to bring back out with the effect of the Aruha. Well, before we do that, they activate their Labrynth Labyrinth and activate their Welcome Labyrinth. So the Welcome Labyrinth gets to bring itself back onto the field. He gets to pop a card on the field. I don't really care. So we bring our Abominable Unchained again, sending the other card to the graveyard so we could pop their Labrynth Labyrinth, the Welcome Labyrinth, and then we pop them in the face and slap them for 1,500 damage. These leaves them, they have no cards left, leaves them in lethal damage range, and then they draw into something they can't really use or whatever, and they scoop. This deck is like really fun, bro. Like the synergy within this deck is actually really good. With that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright guys, so this next replay is also against a Labrynth deck. I'm gonna show you guys about maybe 2 more replays after this one so you guys can see variety. But I just wanted to show you guys this replay because we can play like with skill drain. We can play through skill drain like it's nothing. We actually don't really care about skill drain. So they activate the Ariana, getting their Labrynth onto the hand, activating the Labrynth. They set down 1 card, activating the Pot of Duality. They pick up the Solemn Strike. They set down 2 back row and end their turn. So here I wasn't really worried. I had a game plan. So first of all, we activate our Labrynth. Then we set down our Escape of Unchained, and then we summon our Raikea so that way we could pop our trap card so we could special summon a monster. So then he activates Solemn Strike, which I'm like, thank you. That's minus 1,500 life points to you. And then I get to summon a monster because you popped my card. So we activate the effect of the Raikea, bringing out our Abominable Unchained. That way we can pop a card, and they activate the skill drain, paying 1,000 more life points. I'm like, okay, bet. So we get negated. We go into the battle phase. I try to slap him in the face. They activate the compulsory evacuation. Then they activate their Labrynth Labyrinth. They activate the Ariana, but you have skill drain on the field, so negate that. Then they special summon the Labrynth Labyrinth from the hand, and then they I end my turn. I can't do anything else, bro. So here they get another Lord of Heavenly Prison, so their skill drain is protected. They slap us in the face for like whatever amount of damage they just did. I'm not doing the math, bro. I'm sorry. So we activate our Sarana. Then we activate our Unchained. We activate our Escape of the Unchained so that way we could pop our monster and pop a card on the field, which means now our field spell activates and we get to special summon a monster, right? So we activate the Sarana from the graveyard. They activate the Lord of Heavenly Prison, that way they can special summon it. And we activate our Abominable Unchained from the hand because a card got popped on the field. Well, one of our cards. So here they set down the Trap Trick. Again, we activate our effect, and here since I have the Abominable Unchained of Disaster already on the field, I'm like, all I need is the doggy. The doggy can protect us because it's a 3,000 defense. So then we get to special summon our Labrynth Labyrinth onto the field. We go to the battle phase. I slap their Ariana in the face for 1,300 damage, and then I crash into the Lord of Heavenly Prison because I honestly don't care, right? So we activate the Labrynth Labyrinth and just being a goof. I know we're negated by the skill drain. So then they get another Lord of Heavenly Prison, activate that thing, and they activate the Trap Trick. They set down the Domatica Punishment. I'm like, okay, great. Congratulations. They activate the Domatica Punishment and they destroy my doggy. Bro. Then they activate the Elder Entity. Then they activate the Labrynth Labyrinth, and I'm bringing back Because he destroyed my doggy, I get to bring back the Abominable Unchained. And they scoot, bro. This man really protected the heck out of that freaking skill drain while I was playing through it. You could have just popped it with your field spell, I think. I don't remember. But eventually they gave up, bro, because it's like, I'm playing through your... his monsters are negated. My monster are playing through his own negate. This is... Yo, this match was hilarious, bro. With that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright, guys. So this replay right here, I picked it because a match like this exact matchup was the reason why this deck was built. So we had to do this in honor of Duelist A. I think, yeah, Duelist A, bro. It was my boy Duelist A, because Duelist B got washed. But with that being said, they activate the Salaman Circle, Salaman Grey Circle, whatever. They get the Salaman Grey Gazelle, activating the Gazelle, sending a Salaman Roar to the graveyard. Then they're going to link off into the Salaman Grey Baylings. They activate the Baylings, bring in a Salaman's Grey Sanctuary, their field spell. They activate their field spell. Then they activate its effect, so that way they can link summon into another Baylings. Then they activate the effect of Salaman, well, yeah, the trap in the graveyard, which basically, since they link summon the same monster twice, they get to set it down on the field, so they set that down and set another back row. So here we join to our Call by the Grave. We activate the Call by the Grave, that way we can negate the effect of Salaman Grey Gazelle until next turn. Then we activate our Labrynth. Then we summon our Rykea, and then they Valor us, but I'm like, congratulations, you played yourself. Then they activate the Maxi because we activate our Aruha, which basically lets us pop the monster on the field so we can special summon itself. Bring him out here. So then we activate this effect. They activate the Call by the Grave, and our Rykea gets negated, so I can't summon anything. So then I just set down our Ferret Flames, and then I end my turn. Again, I slapped them up for whatever damage that I just did, but then they activate the Salaman Foxy, which lets them search 3 cards. They actually go for the Spinny. Then they link off using the Baylings and the Fox, so that way they go into the Wolf. They activate the effect of the Spinny, sending itself to the graveyard. That way they could bring it from the graveyard back onto the field by targeting one of their Salaman's great cards. Then with the effect of the Wolf, they bring back the Foxy onto the hand. And with that being done, then they link off into the Salaman's Grey Helio, activating its effect, getting rid of our Ferret Flames, and then they pop us in the face for 800 damage, which I'm like, congratulations. But then they actually have the Salaman Grey Roar that they set down, so we can't special summon anything once again. So then they end their turn. We have 2 cards, so let's see what we draw into. We draw into our compulsory evacuation device, so I bring out the Aruha, slap myself in the face, so that way I can special summon a monster. So we bring out the doggy. So we bring out the dog, well, the Unchained. Sorry, I'm calling him the dog because it's funny, I don't know. But we bring him out, then we get to link summon into the Unchained Abomination, and it's crazy, bro. We just went into a link 4 with 1 monster and a regular link 3. Like, if you have a link 3, if your opponent has a link 3 on the field and you have this card right here, you can go into this card. It's crazy. So, you know, we activate this effect, that way we could try and pop the field spell, but the Bayling's protected. And this is funny because this is what happened in the match that we reacted to, right? So then they activate the Lady Debug, showing us the Salaman Grey Gazelle again. Then they're gonna link off using the Lady Debug into another Baylings. I think this is their 3rd one though. So they end their turn right here. I activate the Unchained Abomination so that way I could pop their field spell. And here we get an escape of Unchained. I slap the Baylings in the face for 2,500 damage. Then I activate the effect of our Abomination to pop our card, so that way we could bring out our Abominable Unchained, slap him up for 3,000 more damage. Here they join to whatever they drew. They activate the Salaman Grey Gazelle. And the reason why they ended up with the Baylings last turn and didn't use this is because of Call by the Grave, I believe. Somebody correct me on that, but I think it was because of Call by the Grave. The funny thing is that they use this and then they send the Spinny to the graveyard, but the Spinny, in order to special summon itself back onto the field, a Salamence Grave monster needs to be on the field, right? So I send the Salamence Grave back to the hand and they scoop because they legitimately they can't do anything anymore, which is pretty funny. This deck is really fun, bro. Just so you know, like I'm telling you, bro, this deck is really fun. With that being said, I got another replay for you guys. It's like a little bonus replay that I'm gonna for you guys today. So let's get into it, guys. So I'm giving you guys a little bonus replay. That I think it's 4 replays right now. And the reason why I'm gonna show you this one right here is because the reason why we run 2 Abominable Unchained is because some people used to, when I used to play Unchained back in the day, or like a few months ago, whatever, a lot of people run Abominable Unchained at 1. I don't know why, but either way, we activate our Labrynth. Then we set down our Absolute King. We get Max Seed, but we don't really care. The reason why we said the Absolute King is because we can pop it with what you guys see right here. We get Max Seed, so we pop the King. That way we could special summon our monster, and then we could activate the King, so we could put a trap on top of the deck if we actually hit it by excavating. Then they activate the Pot of Desires. I'm like, okay. They draw 2 cards. They get the Call by the Grave. They try to get the King, but I can activate the King before they Call by the Grave it. So we hit our Evenly Matched. They can't Call by the Grave anything because there's nothing in there. So they use the Ready Fusion and they go into the Carbonala Warrior. Then they activate the Heroic Challenger Morning Star. Then they get the Heroic Envoy. Activate the effect of the Envoy. That way they get another heroic card onto the hand. They activate the Heroic Call. Special summoning the Thousand Blades. Then they use these two monsters so they can Exceed Summon into the Excalibur. That card actually looks really cool. Then they use his effect. Then they get 4,000 damage attack boost. Then they're gonna link off into the Heroic Champion Claver Solus. They're gonna activate his effect, paying 6,500 damage, bringing another card from the graveyard onto the field. Then they give this thing a boost for 6,000 damage, which they double his attack to 12,000 damage. So then he pops our card, and I'm like, okay, congratulations. That was the worst thing you could have done. So we go into our Abominable Unchained, and I pop his big stick. Like, how do you, why isn't that thing doesn't have any protection? So we get Harpy Feather Duster, and I'm like, congratulations. I don't really care. But that thing really didn't have any protection, bro. Like, that card, like, nah, there's gotta be something, bro. But anyways, here I read his card. So basically, I knew that he was gonna get an attack boost here, and we were going to get popped. And I'm like, okay, because we have another Abominable Unchained on the hand. We activate his effect, send the card to the field, we pop that thing, and then we just slap him in the face for game. That is the reason why you run this card at 2, bro. Don't let anybody tell you to run that thing at 1. You run that thing at 2 and you mess people up, alright? You hear me? Like, with that being said, let's go into the deck list. It's still crazy that thing doesn't have protection though. Like, you could just get popped, bro. No. Alright, gang, so here we are in the deck list. So listen, bro, you might saw 2 cards during those duels that I don't use anymore, right? It's Evenly Matched and the Ferret Flame. The reason why I was playing Ferret Flame is because I was playing Solemn Judgment in here, so I was cutting my life into half. So, you know, it was kind of working with the deck. But then I was like, nah, because I cut Solemn Judgment out because, listen, bro, sometimes you need to slap yourself in the face so you could pop your own monster. You're already taking damage. So cutting your life in half is not a good thing, right? So I took that out, took the Solemn Judgment out, took the Ferret Flames, and then I took the Evenly Matched out because it was basically useless at a certain point. Like, yeah, if you're going second, it's a really good card, but essentially it was useless to me. So with that being said, we run 1 Absolute King Backjack. You could bump that up to 2, it's up to you. We run 1 Labrynth Stovey Torby. We run 3 Ash Blossoms. At the beginning I was playing without Ash Blossom, but you need Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom will bother you, so we need to cross out, right? But still, Ash Blossom is good. So we have 3 of those. We have 3 Unchained Twins Aruha. We run 3 Unchained Twins Raikea. We run 3 Unchained Twins Sarama, and then we run 3 Ariana the Labyrinth Servants. We run 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster. We run 2 Abominable Unchained Souls. Please play this at 2. Don't let anybody tell you to play this at 1. We play 2 Labrynth the Silver Castle. We play 1 Lord of Heavenly Prison. The reason why is because I only have 1. And I'm not crafting 2 more or even another one. But either or. The reason why you play 1 at least is because sometimes, let's say you don't have your Unchained cards or traps on the field, and you could protect your other cards with the Unchained, with this card. Also, you could choose whether to activate it or not, right? If you have your Unchained traps on the field, you want them to get popped, so you just don't activate that. It's up to you. It just gives you like a different way to play when you're playing the game. We have 1 Harpy Feather Duster because we don't have any backward removal. 1 and 2 Harpy Feather Duster bodies us if we don't have the Lord of Heavenly Prison, so we have to cross out for it. We run 2 Labrynth. You can bump that up to 3 because this thing in this deck, even with the Unchained monsters, is actually really good, bro. We run 2 Call by the Graves because Call by the Grave is goated. We run 1 Cross Out Designator again for the same reason, like we need to cross out all of these cards, whatever. We run 3 Torrential Tributes. You could bring that down to 2, it's up to you. I run it at 3 because that's what was working for me. We run 3 Compulsory Evacuations. This card is really good because even monsters that are like unaffected by monster effects and stuff, you could just send them back to the hand. It doesn't matter. We run 2 Infinite Impermanence. You can bump that up to 3. Again, it's up to you. I only have 2 and I'm not crafting another one, at least not right now. We run 2 Escape of the Unchained. And then we run 2 Abominable Chambers of the Unchained. You could bump both of these up to 3. Again, it's up to you and how many cards you want to have in the deck. I find it to be okay at 2. We run 2 Dogmatic Punishments because we get to pop a card. Most of these cards activate the effect of our field spell, or this card right here, which if a monster leaves the field by the effect of our cards, we get to activate all of our stuff, right? So Dogmatic Punishment is really good. We run 3 Labrynth. I actually only had 2 and I crafted the 3rd one to make this more consistent for you guys. You can run it at 2. 3 is better because you get to see it more consistency, stuff like that. But you could run it at 2 if you don't have the UR points. And then we run Imperial Iron Wall. I have a love and hate relationship with this card because sometimes it's really useless. It bodies Runic though. We destroyed Runic with this thing. We just flipped this thing and they scooped. It was hilarious. And then Despia too, it can help you beat Despia, but the thing about it is they can always go into Chimera and pop that thing. They have a bunch of ways of popping that thing. That's the problem. But we still run it at 2 if you want to take that down and just have your deck be a little more compact, and all means, well, go ahead. So we run 1 Elder Entity and an NTS, and that's because I only have 1, but we only need 1 in the deck anyways. If you want to bump that up to 2 or whatever, it's up to you. I run 1 Fossil Warriors Cold Knight because sometimes with the Dogmatic Punishment we could send this to the graveyard, and then we have an automatic like monster pop in the graveyard that we could activate. The same reason we run 1 Fossil Machine's Core is because if we send this to the graveyard with the effect of the Dogmatic Punishment, then we get to destroy a spell on the field. We run 2 Unchained Souls of Rage because we're not running Pot of Extravagance in this deck. You're actually okay with 2. You're mainly rarely ever gonna go into this anyways. Then we run 1 the Dark Charmer Gloomy. We run 1 Nightmare Unicorn. We run 2 Unchained Souls of Anguish. Again, the same reason. You're barely gonna go into this card, I promise you, bro. Like, it's only certain situations that you will, and again, it depends on how you're playing and what you're playing against, but you're fine at 2. Here we have 1 Scarecrow Tryhard because you only need 3 effect monsters, and this thing can actually help you win games because it puts everything in defense positions, and you know, you pop them and stuff. We run 1 Appaloosa Ball of the Goddess. Again, most of these cards that are not Unchained cards are just situational cards, right? So we run 2 Unchained Abominations. The reason why we want 2 is because sometimes monsters have a bunch of attack, so you're gonna have to send this card down with the Dogmatic Punishment. But also the good thing is that if you send this to the graveyard and you have this trap right here, you could bring it back. Crazy, right? So then we have 1 Access Code Talker. Again, you only need 2 effect monsters, 2 plus effect monsters. You could, there was like once or twice that I went into this, but again, it's situational. We run 1 Underworld Goddess of Chaos. This thing is a must in this deck, because legitimately I've had this thing help me get out of bad situations with monsters that I couldn't do anything about. So I have 4 monsters on the field, use their monster, link summon them, and like again, it helped me win games. This is a must. Please put this in this deck. With that being said, bro, that is the whole deck list. The reason again I took out a few cards, I explained, is because this seems to me the most optimal way of playing this deck. You can try and make this deck a 40 card deck. No, bro. No, bro. There's too much cutting out. You need almost everything in here. Legitimately. But you could play it differently. It's up to you. At the end of the day, this is what's beautiful about this deck. When it comes to the traps, it's up to you and your playstyle. You could add whatever you want in there, bro. Make sure that most of them are normal traps, so you know you trigger your field spell and stuff like that. But legit, like, it's really good. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content. I actually really enjoy playing this thing. If it seems like there's a lot of URs in here and you don't, don't waste your URs, bro. This is a fun deck. You can beat the meta low key, but it's mainly for fun. Like it's a fun deck. That's it, bro. Don't waste your gems if you don't have it. If you have the cards, build it and enjoy yourself, bro. Like legit. So again, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content. That is the end of the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.